Hello and welcome to the Daily What News. In today's news, all mods are dead. Goodbye.
Oh, what? What?
Yeah, the mods. It's kind of So the Capcom
Nice.
Showcase just happened the other day.
Yeah, it did.
Blocking a subtitle.
Oh yeah, and by the way, here says Jtegh, Icewave, Ryman. Hello, you guys. Hello, you guys. Hello, you guys.
Hi.
Hello.
And during the showcase, they announced that the RE2, RE3, and RE7 next-gen patches with ray tracing support was being launched just right then. And those patches kind of upgraded the engines to a very new version of RE engine, like even newer than RE8, and thus a ton of file formats changed, and thus basically like 99.9% mods no longer worked, which is...
What's the 0.01% that survived?
My RE3 sensor mod is still fine. That is one of the few mods that work as is. You don't have to do anything. Like, that mod just works fine. But yeah, basically anything changing textures, models, sound, it's all just wonk. It's kind of an annoying, frustrating situation, which hopefully we'll find a good solution for eventually. I don't know. I mean, we have found ways to like manually update some mods to get them working again, but manually updating every single mod, like there's probably 1,000 mods, and that's kind of just tedious. And I also found like a way to like automatically convert textures to new versions, but still, not many mods are just pure textures. So it's just, I don't know, it's a funky situation.
It's a mess. I have close to 100 mods in R2 and 3 remake that I made. I have so many mods to fix.
Yeah. It's I like, a part of me is kind of just tempted to try to like ask Capcom to if they could just officially offer the previous version as like a different build on Steam, so people can go back to that if they want all mods to work again.
And this kind of brings me to what I wanted to kind of elaborate on, because aside from the modding, the performance is worse.
Yeah, I
PC.
did a frame rate test. Like, I noted my frame rate just standing still at different save game spots before and after the patch, and my frame rate was like around 15% worse in both RE2 and RE3 with the new patches.
They now have a lot more stutters on PC because they are now forced to be DirectX 12, which means that they are basically compiling shaders, which you love that. Also means if DirectX 11 support is just gone, it's just...
Yeah, that also means that, I mean, I doubt there were many people still using it, but when Windows 7 support is now gone for RE2 and RE3 and also RE7.
Also, before we get too far away from it, the thing that you said about offering different versions of the game on Steam, before people say, oh, they would never do that, meh. I would like to point out that with RE5, when it got updated to the Steamworks version, there were also issues, and they offered people to use the beta function on Steam to revert to an older version of RE5 after a lot of people complained about issues.
Yeah. I feel like
it is something they've done before, but I don't think it's very likely because there's not a lot of people that will have issues if you're not using mods.
Yeah, well, yeah. I do hope they make an option though, because it would be nice, and I think it's very unlikely that all mods will become compatible with the new release, with the new patches. Like, it's just very, very unlikely.
It is a ton of work.
Yeah.
Should I talk about like the console version real quick? Because I have played the PS5 version of these new versions.
Sure, I can just quickly go through a few screenshots like this. These were pictures you were taken of the PC version, I think?
Yes.
With
this
ray
is with
tracing?
ray tracing all on the highest. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, this here doesn't actually look that bad. What setting did you use there?
I don't know, but yeah, I somehow made her hair not look horrible.
Because on my screenshot, it's not going to look this pretty, I'm afraid. So yeah, you were talking about the console versions?
Yeah. So I.
This is my screenshot.
Can you actually go back for a second?
What?
Can you go back one screenshot for a second?
Oh, back. Oh yeah, back.
Oh, never mind. I thought for a second that like there was some rendering issue that like Jill was missing a hand or something, but nope, it's just me being bad at using my eyes.
I can
I
relate.
mean, hair is
Okay.
covering my eyes, so I guess that makes sense. I'll just
Let's
hide
just
in this
go
corner.
to one of the screenshots showing one of the few mods that is possible to get working on the new version easily, which are texture mods. Yes, yes.
I
But yeah,
really appreciate this ad, by the way,
yeah,
because
I
it just takes me back to a bygone era.
I'm
Don't make
pretty
them
happy
like
with
they
my
used
work on
to.
it.
But I briefly streamed the PS5 versions of RE7, RE2, and RE3 yesterday. And they don't have a particularly great performance if you have ray tracing on. They sort of just dip a lot. It's not like the super biggest dip, it's mainly into the 40s, but it's very often that it happens.
It is.
And
It is a shame because I mean, do you know what resolution are they targeting? Like, are they running at 4K?
yeah, they're going for 4K.
I feel like if they just lowered it a little bit, then I could probably go with constant 60 on the new hardware.
Yeah, like if they just went for like 1440p, I think that would do the trick. And if you turn off the ray tracing, then you get a rock solid, smooth 60 FPS.
There is also
Um,
the high frame rate option, which also isn't a stable frame rate.
Yeah, and that targets 1080p if I remember right.
I'm not sure, but that like targets 120 frames a second, and it manages to hit it occasionally, but overall it doesn't hit 120. Like
So
it targets
far,
120, but that's it.
well, based on like videos and other 120 FPS games I've seen covered on like Digital Foundry and whatnot, that seems to be kind of par for the course. Very
Yep.
few games that offer 120 FPS support actually hit 120 locked. They often dip quite wildly, and it's the same thing on my computer as well. Very few games hit and maintain 120.
I thought this was a screenshot I took where you could barely see a reflection of Jill, but I guess it. Actually, wait, is this without ray tracing? Oh, never mind.
Oh, is it?
I think this is with ray tracing, but I don't see a reflection. I
Yeah,
thought
you're supposed to see Jill reflected in those posters.
maybe I took a wrong screenshot. But either way, like this, I know is without ray tracing, and this is with ray tracing. Wow!
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, there you can actually see it in effect. I feel
Yeah,
like it's kind of hard to notice in like in RE2 and 7. I feel like I was just going, is this ray traced? Like I feel like I was going crazy, but with RE3 I was like, oh yeah, that's ray tracing. Okay.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I
it is
noticed some.
it is still a fairly subtle effect, I think, in motion.
Yeah, for
I
some reason
checked
it
a
just
few.
kills frame rate. Sorry.
I checked a few locations in RE2, and some places where I thought that there would be ray tracing, certain glass cabinets or mirrors, those either didn't have any reflections at all because there was no mirror because they just cheated those, or some of those were still using either cube map reflections or screen space reflections. Even with ray tracing on, like not even all surfaces you expect to be reflective are reflective. It's weird, and as this shows, the resolution for these ray trace reflections is not very high.
Yeah, it looks fairly low res. I think Icewave also found a place in, was it R2 or 3 that had like Q maps with ray tracing on.
Yes.
But yeah, this is without ray tracing. This is with, and I think okay, so this is with working AA because yeah, like the AA is also kind of wonky. I think is this AA? Would be nice.
It almost looks cell shaded. What the heck?
Would be easy to tell if it wasn't like this blurry when zooming in. But I have had problems with AA. Like sometimes AA is not working in the new version of RE2 and RE3.
Oh, that's
It takes me back to RE5 Steamworks.
The model viewer, especially in RE2, I haven't checked in RE3. The model viewer in RE2 just doesn't seem to have any functional AA at all, no matter what the setting is.
It's always broken there.
I can confirm it's also broken on RE3.
And the biggest like thing that is affected by that in these games is like the hair with their like dithering rendering techniques, like this kind of stuff. And if you check the model viewer, this is like 10 times worse.
Yeah, I think I have one of those screenshots later. I think this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
without
yeah.
AI. I feel like this does look like sharp pixels. Well, blurry when I zoom in because this is like filtered in this tool. Shall I just go through a ton of screenshots with and without ray tracing?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I have
yeah.
many.
Yes.
Or
I
Do it.
have so many. So oh, never mind. Let's look at this. I forgot to add this.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Yeah,
oh, I think see the
yeah,
ghost
this is
thing.
a ghosting effect that can happen with the new version. I don't think this was
Yeah.
ever a thing in the old version.
God,
I haven't ever seen that happen, no.
I don't think. I mean,
See, this
it is.
is why I shouldn't be allowed to play video games. Like I do dumb things and discover dumb things.
Yeah, but I mean, I've also seen other people complain about this, but I mean, I don't think you see like the effect all over the place, right? It's only specific places that becomes very apparent, right?
Yeah, it's only some reflections. Yeah, it's only some.
I think
Yeah.
it's not only reflections. I want to say some people post screenshots where there was no reflective surfaces and they still got the ghosting effect.
Oh.
So yeah, that's
I had to make sure he got his head in there too.
how are
So
they?
that's another thing that's slightly wonky with the new patch.
Author of the month.
Oh yay!
Always, for all time. Good old Marvin.
So it is comparison time. So this is without ray tracing,
Okay.
and this is without with.
The lighting has a more natural looking color to it, but otherwise, not a massive
I almost feel like
improvement.
they're
And
doing.
some reflection on the floor, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That is definitely
Pretty
different.
Like
original.
the
light for some reason.
the green light is
Yeah,
like bouncing off the floor.
Yeah, from the exit sign.
Yep.
I almost wonder if they're doing some kind of post-processing thing because I feel like the image as a whole just looks slightly more colorful and maybe. Yeah, I don't know, it's just like something with the image overall looks slightly different to me.
I mean, that could just be a side effect of the fact that the light is more accurately bouncing and
Maybe.
it's transferring its color when it bounces because, well, that's what light does.
But I have many more screenshots. So this is without, this is with. In this case, it's like I guess the door on the right is different.
Big.
The
Yeah,
shadows here are more affected, like the pipes. You can see like the soft shadows of the pipes.
But the biggest difference is, well, this door that you
Yeah,
can
this
see
door.
on the side. It's reflecting differently.
And the light on Jill, I guess, is different.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well,
less
Very
shadowed.
strong shadow, yeah.
And it's another one without and with.
So I tried this scene on my end, and whenever Brad appears here, I couldn't see him with ray tracing on because the light
really?
behind him was making him completely obscured in shadows.
Hey,
That's
Brad, where the hell's he going?
Into the shadows.
Oh my god.
So
He went to the dark side.
there he is.
Speaking of
That's Brad
Brad.
right there. That's Brad. There's Brad without
Puddle.
ray tracing, and this is Brad ray traced. So you can kind of see. You can see it feet. So you can see it. His like footsies right here, but not without ray tracing. He's not there without.
You got footsies like in a fighting game. Wow.
Mhm. And yeah, I mean, like this scene looks like this, like big differences, like on the left
Why does
side. I
it add
feel.
blood to the coffee shop sign?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably
And-
one of those updated textures.
No, well, I mean, could it be one of the effects you see on screen when you're wounded, or I don't know.
But I don't think
You
there is
you
supposed to be
shouldn't
blood
be.
here.
Yeah, you shouldn't be like wounded enough to see that at this point in the game.
Actually, yeah, it's an odd pattern. I don't know. It might not be blood. It might be reflecting, like the light is bouncing off the car light onto the ground and then up here.
I should note that this is without ray tracing.
Wait, this shot.
This
here?
is not ray traced. This is ray traced.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think it disappears in
texture-
the ray tracing shot.
So yeah, this I have no idea.
Okay, I don't know then. I thought.
I guess it might be an updated texture then.
Wouldn't it have all the same textures for both ray tracing and not ray traced? I don't know.
I
This
don't know.
is this is a big mystery. But yeah, I have more shots. Like this is without ray tracing. This is with ray tracing. Like the water here looks drastically different.
Ooh.
It's
And
very
also like
shiny.
the ground here, yeah.
That's pretty snazzy.
Reflecting the moonlight in the sky.
Without ray tracing? With ray tracing?
Yeah, just ray tracing
Yeah.
doing what it's supposed to, making lighting looking more natural, more realistic.
It is weird though, because I mean, I don't know, like there's certain lighting that also looks just identical, certain shadows that look identical. So, like you can like ray tracing is used for specific things, but it's not used for all lighting. Like the
Well, that might
shadow
be
hair is identical, light hair is identical.
more of a performance thing, as we'll probably get into later.
Without and with. This looks like much like shinier, like a lot more,
shiny.
a lot more blue
Shiny.
with ray tracing, like blue
Emily,
reflected
Emily,
all over the place.
You beat me to it. Yeah, I mean, it does look better, especially in some shots.
And this is without. This is with.
That
This is harder to tell. I mean, you can see over here-ish, like like the reflections here look a little bit different. Whoops, with and without. Like this is with, this is without.
I think it's reflecting more things.
Like the reflection here almost looks like it could be cube mapped because it almost
Oh yeah,
stays
that
identical.
kind of just looks the same. Yeah, that's true.
That's either cube mapped or screen space reflections.
This is without, and this is with. Very subtle differences in this
Yeah,
shot.
I'm seeing like
Some like back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like the implementation of this is so subtle in a lot of areas
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel
I
like
don't know.
one thing that's probably worth mentioning here is that if you turn on ray tracing, it has an absolutely enormous effect on frame rate. Like always, like no matter
Yep.
what the scene is, like it basically, like it more than cuts the frame rate by half. Like it has an enormous effect on the frame rate. So this is with and this is without. So this looks a lot more reflective. This scene, like this actually looks quite a bit different overall.
That's very different.
And the PC ports of these games, they don't support anything like FSR or DLSS, do they?
They support FXR.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
think FXR looks bad. I tested briefly. I don't like it.
Well, yeah, most people think like FSR 1.0 looks bad, whereas FSR 2.0, which I assume
It's
is
only
just
1.0 they support.
yeah.
They do have the an option to make the game internally render at a higher quality, but I don't think
Oh yeah,
that's
like super sampling. But that's
yeah.
insanely demanding. Also, I think I heard someone say that setting is broken. I didn't test it myself, but I heard someone claim it was broken.
Oh,
Of course.
nice.
And so yeah, this is with ray tracing. This is without. Those pipes look like way better with the ray tracing.
Yeah.
I think the fact that these differences, like it's easy to spot with the pipes here, but we have had a few shots where it's been really difficult to tell the difference, and I think that's just due to how limited the ray tracing implementations kind of have to be for performance reasons in today's games.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's a first generation implementation that ended up in these new consoles, and that's going to be the baseline for all versions.
I think one thing also, like if I were to be completely honest, if I didn't know beforehand which one of these screenshots were ray traced and which one wasn't, I'm not sure if I would be able to tell you which one is the one with ray tracing.
I think
wouldn't.
some people would actually be thinking that in this case it would be this one because of this, like the delete here. Like
I
the
mean, hell,
reddish.
I made that mistake earlier with the coffee shop thing.
And
I
also
got them
like
mixed up.
I think another thing is that we have screenshots of the exact same places, so we can like I feel like we can really highlight the differences. But I feel like just for casual gameplay, I feel like I don't know. I feel like it is harder to tell. So now we're on to RE2. These screenshots I remember I wasn't able to get a anti-aliasing working. So yeah, this is without and this is with.
Like it's a bit darker.
I feel like the lighting on Leon looks a lot like softer and nicer.
Oh yeah, it's a big difference on Leon.
It does just make everything look way darker. And this is without, and this is with.
Yeah, so you
Why did
exactly
the
picked
wall
the
become
room
dirty?
that I was talking about earlier. The reflection in this glass, even with ray tracing on, is just a cube map.
Yeah, it does look identical when I switch between, like, yeah. Like the lighting here looks very different, but yeah, the reflections in those windows just look the same.
Yep.
And without and with. This is
That is a
this
very
one's more
minor
subtle.
difference.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
if like
the chair gets lighter.
Better shadows.
the furniture becomes different, but overall it looks similar. And yeah. With and without, without. Yeah, no, it's a lot of these screenshots. I feel like the difference is rather subtle.
It's
The
the
effect
shadows.
here is pretty intense. Like here, the difference
Yeah.
in this area.
Yeah. Is this ray traced or is it not ray traced?
I would assume it isn't because the lighting here doesn't look right.
Okay, just, that is correct. I just wanted to test you. Guys. But yeah, this is ray traced. This is not.
Yeah,
It-
that
it-
looks way better.
It's interesting. Like that effect is way different. Without and with. This is kind of an interesting one, I feel, because this kind of just removes reflections if you turn on ray tracing. Like if you look right here, like this is with
Yeah,
ray tracing,
just
this is
poof.
without.
Oh.
So that I feel like
That's-
that's kind of a pretty weird example. The lighting here looks way different with ray tracing, but yeah, like it looks more reflected without, which I feel like is kind of an interesting change that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, the floor here used very excessive like screen space reflections, and in a lot of cases, in my
Yeah.
opinion, it
Well-
just doesn't look good.
Either it was a rethink from the art team or a mistake.
Could be.
Here is without RT and with whoops and
Oh
with
wow,
RT.
picking the whole
Sorry.
RD main hall. That's an impressive.
And
leap.
again, like this is, I mean, I will note that, I mean, isn't this water?
Yeah.
Water is supposed to be pretty darn reflective, and again, like it's more reflective without RT, and it also looks fairly good here, at least in this screenshot. So like with RT, like those reflections just kind of go away. I feel like that's kind of weird.
Well, it's very dirty water.
Or
Also-
maybe it's
Oh,
a
whoopsie.
performance concern again.
Oh, speaking of performance, I was about
Yeah.
to say my FPS was 20 right here. 20.
Ooh.
But it was
Yeah,
20.
then that
It
makes
was-
me
it
think
was
it
20.
was for performance reasons of why it doesn't reflect everything in the water.
It's just
Because they would have needed to maintain frame rate on like consoles as well.
it's just, I don't know, at that point, like, why not just play without RT? Because I feel like, I don't know, I don't know.
Well,
It's
I guess that's why you have the option to play without RT.
this is without RT and this is with. This
Yeah,
looks
okay.
very similar, and again, certain reflections go away. I mean, this is a very similar corridor. Like, I mean, this is basically like just like down. It's just down from this place.
Is your
It's like-
FPS still 20?
Yeah, it's still 20 share.
Yikes.
That's extreme.
Yeah, I think if I were to turn off RT, I think my frame rate was like around 57 here. So it's like this would be 57 and this would be 20.
Still not ideal.
And
You had
also
no
like
problem
this
having
doesn't
60
look
before.
that different right now, like with and without.
Now, I don't know if it would make that much of a difference, but NVIDIA Game Ready drivers specifically referencing RE2, 3, and 7 ray tracing did only just come out today, like mere hours ago. I don't know if that would have helped, but I think it's worth noting.
Yeah. This is without. Oh yeah, this is one of the better examples. So this is without and this is with. Like this looks way
Oh
better.
yeah, there you go.
Like I feel like this is one of the few examples of like really good reflections with the RT. So this looks way better. So this is without and this is with. This is like
I
a
didn't
big
realize the
improvement.
ground was supposed to be that wet.
It is raining
Yeah.
like very heavily in the opening.
Yeah, Ryman,
Yeah.
there's two sides to every story.
Yeah, the A side and the B side.
So I mean, I don't know. I do think overall it definitely looks better with ray tracing, but also I feel like for most cases it's subtle differences that you might not notice that much while playing, and like the frame rate cost just way too much. Like I would just play without
Yeah.
RT. Like if I had the choice, I would just play with the old patch, so I could also get better. I could also get better frame rate overall. Like I don't know, from a graphical and like performance standpoint, I would just rather actually. I would just roll back, to be honest.
And I think
Yeah.
I think that's just going to be like a trend throughout this entire console generation because whilst they are very powerful machines from a ray tracing perspective, they just don't have enough power to like ray trace everything like Minecraft RTX or Quake 2 RTX do. That's where you get like the really impressive
Yeah,
changes.
it still feels like early tech. Like it still feels like it may be a bit too early to actually use a whole lot.
Yeah, like they're bolting some ray tracing effects here and there onto traditional rendering. They're not ray tracing everything. And I think that's why we get results like this.
I think those were all the comparisons I included. These are some official screenshots Capcom released of R7. I didn't even bother to download R7. It was enough for me to deal with R2 and R3.
I
mean,
played it for an hour, but I forgot to take screenshots. I'm sorry.
it's
So
hmm?
I was gonna say something about this particular image, but go ahead.
I was gonna say like I don't think it's a big secret that I'm not a big fan of RE7 at all. So I don't think I'll bother at
What?
all
I don't-
with this version
I
of the
don't
game.
think most of us are.
Hell, I didn't even buy or play the game.
I'll buy it for you.
No.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay, so what I was gonna say about this scene or this image, which is kind of surprising, RE7 saw the biggest like graphical update, and it did actually get some fixes as well. Like in this particular scene, the sky texture was broken,
Yeah,
Huh.
and they
if you have
actually fixed it.
HDR on,
Yeah, and they actually did fix that.
Okay. That's something.
Ice, have you played RE7? What were your impressions of RE7 RT?
I mean, you could definitely tell this one had the most work put in because it does look like just texture-wise and everything, it looks considerably better and sharper.
Did they improve
A lot of
texture detail, like resolution?
yeah, like I want to say like hair stuff, like everything. I feel like the meshes are better, the hair stuff is better.
See some dithering. I saw some blur. Was the
Yeah, there is still
spade
like
better?
some. I did not look at that. I didn't see if I saw myself in that. I'm sorry. But like Mia's hair, for example, that was very obviously better.
It
It's
is
still
drastically different how Mia's hair looks like.
yeah.
The way how they set up alphas or other things in RE7 made everything seem a lot thinner and a lot more like strandy. Like the
Yeah.
Let's just
hairs.
pretend this is Mia.
Oh, chromatic.
Oh no.
That's
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
of chromatic aberration.
Let's just pretend this is
And
Mia.
depth of field.
Look,
But yeah,
is
like
good.
if you compare screenshots of the first meeting Mia in game, not talking about the horribly drawn out intro sequence.
Oh god. Oh
If
yeah.
you compare screenshots of the old version and the new version, a lot more of Mia's face is covered by her hair. Like her hair looks drastically different in the
Yeah.
new version.
It's still a bit weird, but it. Oh, and good thing Jtegh mentioned the drawn out intro. You still cannot skip cutscenes. They didn't do any quality of life
Yeah.
improvements. You still
Nope.
have to.
What?
You still have to watch it. You can't skip any of it.
OMG.
And I was
Okay.
really hoping they would do that because that's would really help the game's pace. Because oh my god.
The
Rated
intro
U.
for 7 is
category.
so damn long, and you can't skip
Yeah.
it even on New Game Plus or New Playthrough.
Okay, that's whack.
It's
Ethan,
very whack.
you're
RE7 is
right.
very whack.
I did lie to you. I shouldn't have, but if you get this, stay away. Stay away.
And then Ethan's like, "No, I want to die. I'll just go."
Oh, she calls it after 3 years. I guess I'll go check out. Maybe it was just a prank all along.
Is that it related to RE2, RE3, and RE7 patches?
There's one last thing I want to say. Why the hell is the RE7 patch 46 gigabytes?
Yeah, it is kind of huge.
It is absurdly big.
I guess it was basically just a re-download of the whole game.
The whole game was not 51 gigabytes originally. It is now.
Well, maybe the higher res textures bolted the size up.
It's very likely, but yeah. So if you had RE2 and 3 installed already, RE2 was I want to say 21 gigabyte update, and RE3 was 14 or 15. RE7 was 46.5 gigabytes.
Yeah, like it was 22 gigs on Steam for me when I updated.
And they were all
was
like
even
you were literally just like downloading the entire game.
Pretty much.
I don't think anything was like kept from the previous version, file-wise.
So yeah, that like RE7 got massive in file size. But yeah, that's all I had to say about them. Aside from the fact that every mod got killed.
Yeah,
we do have some updated tools, but it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's annoying. I was just hoping to continue taking a break from RE Engine modding, but then this happened.
Capcom hurt you and they took it personally.
Okay, is it time to talk about RE4 stuff? They showed more RE4 at the Capcom Showcase.
Oh, did they? I blinked and I missed it.
Well, now it's time to look at it.
If I could just forget what happened that night.
I can never forget.
The pain.
At least now we get to see his
For a
face.
second.
Yeah, they show his face more. So I just want to point out, by the way, so in the showcase, they showed the entire RE4 trailer with the ending being this. So like it was primarily the same trailer, but like just a few more seconds. It was yeah.
If I could just forget what happened that night.
Yeah, that was it. That was the only new footage.
Yeah, it's and like I remember the Capcom Japanese Twitter like teased that hey, we're gonna showcase an extended trailer at the Capcom Showcase, and it's kind of funny that the extended version is just a few seconds longer.
Yeah, that was also a fucking lie. It's not extended. It's the same length. It's just the footage at the end is different.
Yeah.
Use your words correctly,
It's a different
Capcom.
angle.
Yeah.
This time.
But they did, in addition to that, after that, show a little bit of gameplay while we're talking over it.
Of course.
So you see Leon walking around. So
Without a gun.
It's third person. There are birds. They want to nail the feeling of loneliness. Very important.
No, he has a gun.
Yeah, he has a gun. Even
Now
he
he
answers
has a
with it.
gun.
Yeah, he answers with it.
He didn't have it before.
Does that mean he can hold
And
the
he can
gun?
crouch.
Recent Resident Evil 2
Yeah.
and Resident Evil 3 should find this
I'm a little.
Background.
Is this supposed to be like the intro of the game? I wonder why they made it so
It has to be.
darker.
Where we'll have
Spook.
more information
Yeah, I feel like
It
they're going for
seems
many
like the
spooks.
Yeah, like if you take a look at in the previous trailer when he's in the car, like the car ride over seems to be in the dark, that he's arriving like very early morning in the village, and then when you get to the main part of the village, then it becomes like daylight, like it becomes morning over time, I guess.
That seems like a very rapid progression of time to me, but
It could be like it's just before sunrise or something. I don't know.
maybe. Of course,
Um,
there will also be thrilling battles.
There
Yeah.
will be battles.
I want to point out one thing which I found to be slightly weird. So if I go back to where he starts aiming, just like just start to loop this, is that he aims all wobbly. See that he's very wobbly.
That's a lot of wobble.
Like, is it why is it wobbly? I just don't understand why it's wobbly. I don't know. It's very wobbly. I feel like
He seemed sad in the intro, so he's drunk.
I just like for instance, if you just imagine like our 4 style aiming was like a laser pointer, like it would go everywhere right now with him being this wobbly. Like it would go literally everywhere.
It's basically like when you put Leon to 60 FPS in the Ultimate HD version.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like-
God.
Without the
Yeah,
patch.
like the laser sight in the original does wobble a bit.
But it doesn't mean I feel like it would be much more crazy here in this case. But speaking of which, do you guys think that will return? Do you
Wait.
think like the laser sight will
Yeah, I
will-
was
will
actually
return?
wondering
It will.
about.
It was an RE2.
It doesn't look like there's a laser sight down here, though.
Yeah, that's a fair
It'll be
point.
RE2 Remake had it.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless, like,
our
this
remake did
is
have
a
it, but
laser?
it was only one. It was only one gun, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you
I
couldn't.
thought
You
it was
couldn't.
like a double setting. Well, it's been a hot minute.
No. It was only one gun. I kind of wish it was a setting. It's something I would have preferred to play with. I feel like it would be fun to actually have that return, but I feel like they'll just go with the crosshair yet again.
You don't realize how many cheap things you can do with a crosshair, like you shoot behind walls.
I also want to quickly note that the way Leon crouches here feels very similar to how the crouching works in RE8. Like it's very like snappy.
Oh yeah, that animation is just lifted from that.
And I imagine it might work the same as in RE8 where there's a button to crouch. But I guess we'll see.
If that is the case, that would expand some combat options. Like, you couldn't duck manually in the original RE4 before. So if someone like throws an axe at you, you could potentially
true.
theoretically duck under it if that is a new combat mechanic.
You can just pretend it's R6 and like just like duck that way to avoid
Yeah.
stuffs.
Yeah.
Actually, Leon can take manual cover behind low terrain, so proud.
And yeah, that mean I wish they showed more gameplay because yeah, this is all we have to talk about here. Like just wobbly aiming and crouching. That's all we can comment on because there's nothing else. There's nothing else.
We can comment on his face.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's not gameplay. But yeah, we can do that. I was just so curious.
Material.
Here's
I'm
my
still so
comment.
curious. What?
Here's my comment. He has a face.
Holy shit.
I'm so curious. Like, are like melee's back? Like, can you stun enemies and melee them? Like, I really want to know how that works in RE4 Remake.
Can I suplex?
Yeah, like I want to do that.
Yeah, I guess.
Mercenaries back, and will it be good this time?
Oh boy.
I guess Capcom is trying to like drag out the marketing cycle over the next 9 months because we have to bear that in mind. The game is
Yeah.
still 9 months away.
Maybe Gamescom is the first time we'll actually see proper gameplay. I guess we'll see.
I think
yeah,
that was the case for
that's
RE2 Remake, actually.
Yeah, it's August, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They
Oh.
release some high quality screenshot stuffs.
Ashley, turn around. Ashley, we're over here. You need to turn around. Ashley, can you hear me? Ashley?
Every now and then I get a little
Okay, so that's Ashley. Moving on. This is Leon. Leon, right?
Leon,
There, Leon.
we're over here, Leon.
Slow
You need to turn around.
Lord. This is Leon again. He's looking at this building.
Oh yeah. I wanted to confirm. Is this the first RE Engine game that has been confirmed as being like exclusive to current gen? There's no last gen version.
I believe so. Because Street Fighter 6 is coming out on PS4.
Yeah.
I want to point out though that on the press website it does list PS4 like in the platforms, but that might be a mistake.
Also, you guys remember RE8?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
also, when the game was announced, said it wasn't coming to PS4 and Xbox.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
and then they were
yeah,
like, if
yeah.
we can
Oh.
make the ports happen, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And then they did.
I mean, I feel like with RE8, I wonder if the logic was that hey, let's try to make people feel like there's a next gen only title by only announcing it for next gen consoles, and then just like later just suddenly mention it's for last gen and just hope people still see it as an over like next gen title. I feel like that might be like the marketing thing, and maybe they are thinking the same here. I guess we'll see.
But I mean, thinks it was also because like people couldn't really buy the consoles, so the install base wasn't as big.
Did you ever
Yeah,
use a
but-
flashlight in RE4 original?
No,
He
but in
had the
3.5
little, yeah, he didn't use a
Oh.
flashlight like this, but he had like a
No.
little light on his belt.
Yeah.
So
It was
this
all
is giving me it's like so seeing him use this like this reminds me of like RE 3.5 trailer from
Yep.
before RE4 was
Yep.
released.
Very happy
Uh,
with that. The
still
more
see a flash-
3.5 elements,
Still
the
see a
better.
left
That says
side.
Kendo.
That as well.
Does that say Kendo?
It does kind of look like Kendo, but it's very blurry. It's hard to tell.
I have no idea.
I mean, if that is the case, then this is clearly his Silver Ghost. Also, there is no laser sight here.
yeah, sad face.
You can see the underrail of the gun, so I guess
Yeah.
there's not going to be a laser sight.
Maybe upgrade for merchant. Well, that would be
Maybe, but I mean, then
probably
it would
not.
probably work like in RE2 Remake, where it's just like a little dot that's going to be there.
I would.
Now,
I was going to point this out. That I hope Capcom is listening. I would be completely okay with when you start the game, you aim. There's no laser sight. There's no crosshair. You have to buy the laser sight from the merchant, and then you get laser sight. Just yeah, that's all. Yep.
oh boy. I think
Ryan was
at
going to say something?
best you might get that as like a higher difficulty exclusive feature or something. I don't think it'd be across the board.
Maybe.
But yeah, you now may be thinking, what are they going to do with the merchant? What will he still be
Welcome,
silly?
stranger.
Will
I'm
he
a
still be
merchant.
silly? Because
Well, this is
he's
my
not.
voice. Come over here and shop for your weapon, eh?
I
Actually,
hope
you should be
so, but I don't
Scottish.
know.
You should be Scottish, actually. Ah, hello there, stranger. Wanna all come over here and buy a weapon for me? Eh?
Why would a Scottish man be in Spain randomly?
Well, why would he be? What was his accent in the original?
I don't know what his accent was.
That was
I
his
think it's
accent. His accent was just going, heh heh.
Yeah, I
Welcome,
think his
stranger.
accent was Paul Mercier, whatever his name is. I think that's his accent. They should just bring him
Did
back.
you know he? Did you know he also voiced Leon in RE4? It's
Oh
actually
my
quite good range.
god!
Yeah, they should bring him back. I feel really mean saying this. Like Nick, I think he is a really good rookie Leon in RE2. I think he does a fantastic job. I just, well, depending on how this game handles Leon, I just kind of have like a bit of a hard time thinking that to like fit this tougher Leon, like this more hardened Leon. But again, it depends on like where the writing takes him.
Yeah. After RE2 and RE3, I feel like, well, also after RE8 and RE7, I feel like we'll probably have more of that style, which is kind of more grounded, kind of gritty. Although RE8 was really out there. I just remembered, like RE8 goes crazy with stuff happening. I guess actually the writing is kind of grounded, but like what's happening in the game is just completely bananas on RE8 when I think
This is
about
Ryan
it.
grounded though.
Kinda ish. I don't know. I mean, they do the boulder line. I guess that's kind of silly. Do you guys think the flashlight is automatic or something you use manually?
My
It's probably automatic.
guess is
I'd,
automatic.
I'd
Yeah.
guess automatic as
Yeah,
well.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's been automatic in every game since like RE4, so that's a safe bet probably. That's Ganado. He's got scary eyes.
Ah,
Ah!
Why did you come here?
I can already hear the cries of "Un forastero" in my head.
Do you think these enemies are actually here? It's just like placed here for the promo screenshot.
Promo.
I feel like it's
Promo.
promo because we saw this scene like Leon entering for the first time, and there was
Yeah.
nothing around, or at least not in the angle we saw.
Also, I feel like Leon would be like,
These enemies don't seem to be
Where are we
carrying anything,
going?
right?
Bingo.
Yeah.
oh,
that
they're
makes
not
sense.
gonna have that line. Oh yeah. How many one-liners will stay? Like, how much of the writing from the original will actually survive?
I will
None.
say nothing
I will
as
be
is, but
disappointed.
maybe they'll like reference a few lines. This is a pretty good key art.
Yeah, I do like this key art a lot.
Was this?
It's moody.
Did he show this off in the previous one? I think we also showed this in the previous podcast.
I think so.
It rings
Yeah.
a bell. Yeah.
No, that's Leon. That's Leon.
Man,
Babyface
Oh,
Leon.
oh, those eyes! Holy shit! This man hasn't slept for days.
Yeah.
those are
But
some bags.
I like his face. I think they did a good job with the face here.
That looks very fluffy. That looks so fluffy. Holy shit.
It
What do you say? It's a fluffy quack.
looks very similar to his RE2 face, but they kind of made his face a little longer, and it seems it looks like it's based on the same mesh, but like very minor updates.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
like it.
I mean,
Yeah, I
if
think
you
it's a
wanna
good-
compare, we can compare.
Oh,
This is R2 Leon. Oh yeah,
Maybe.
this is
it's
look
a
at
little
look
hard to see.
look at this dithering. Look at this
Boy.
dithering.
Yeah, he's got like some marks on his face here, and I don't think they were there for RE4.
Like this mark is right here. This
Oh
mark
yeah,
is right
it's
here.
there.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, hi,
So
Mark.
But
look
it
at
is
this.
kind of different texture.
Yeah. So I guess maybe they've done like minor tweaks, but you can definitely tell like it looks the same face, like it's
Yeah.
very, very, very similar. I feel like the lighting is like the biggest difference in this case, and also like they added made eyelids more red because it's like tile or
Also,
something.
what crazy
Yes,
high
that's-
resolution did they render the screenshot to make the hair look that
Yeah,
much
the hair
better?
looks
Oh yeah,
incredible.
this has to be like super sampling and everything.
That hair looks
It
good.
could be that for this shot they turned
He's
up,
sleeping now.
up the dithering setting in the engine because from experience modding this shit, there is just a setting that affects how strong the dithering is.
Huh.
So it could be that for the shot they'll just turn it off or something, or turn it to a very low value.
Yeah, like this hair this is by the way a pretty good example of how like AA is broken in the model viewer. It just makes hair so much worse.
Madness. Madness, I say.
Leon again.
It's just he
Baby
just
boy.
looks,
Why does that look like a Snapchat post?
he looks done with life in this.
Kinda don't blame him.
It looks so fluffy though.
I mean, your first day on the job as a police
Yes.
officer, zombie outbreak happens. The girl you have a crush on decides to just fall to her doom.
Minor
You
issue.
suddenly work for the government because they're all like, "Hey, if you don't work for the government, we're not going to protect Sherry."
Does she fall in
Unless,
the RE2 remake?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, I do like this shot. It's a very cool shot of him.
It's very fancy.
This seems very similar to the shot of where he shoots the
Oi.
barrels facing the village big cheese.
Hasta
Yeah, where he
luego.
goes. Yeah, that was the one. Thanks. Isaac.
Also, he looks more awake. I guess he got a good nap in between.
I suppose he did. Yeah, I mean, before fighting the big cheese, he does take a nap after the big fish.
do you
Nice little
guys
left flags to
Delago.
like give him good sleep.
I just want to point out, by the way, that this screenshot is 6,000 by 3,000. It's well, not screenshot like
Jesus.
this render.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
pixels.
It takes 50
Pretty
megs
good.
of your video RAM right now as we speak.
Blimey.
That 6,000 times 8,000.
And that's the final image I had prepared here for RE4 Remake.
That is 18 million pixels.
That's a few.
That's a
That's
few.
10 million more, it's roughly 10 million more than 4K.
Anything else to note about RE4 Remake?
Well, no, because Capcom haven't really told us enough to go
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, they. I wish they showed more gameplay, but I guess we'll have to wait a few more months.
I'm
Okay,
looking
fine.
forward to it though. Like, it's third person makes me just, that excites me because RE2 and 3 play very well in my opinion. And if RE4 plays similar to those, which I imagine when they're third person, then yeah, I'm in.
I think I'd be disappointed if that were the case, to be honest, because I want my melee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also want my Dutch from RE3, that was fun.
I'm still a little skeptical because RE4 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I've really struggled to get into the RE2 remake, even though everyone loved it. So yeah, I have my doubts, and I haven't
Why?
played RE3 remake yet at all.
I also want to say I do like that they seem to shake it up. I think that's kind of neat because the original is very well preserved. You can still buy that on Steam. You can buy it on Switch. You can buy it on PS4, Xbox One, your Series,
I mean,
and
also,
your
I think
PS5.
if they were to remake it with the exact same gameplay, you would have a lot of people complaining about the controls. Like the
Yeah.
controls aren't very modern like in the original RE4.
So I'm looking forward to this.
I'm just gonna say, if you want to play the original, get the HD PC version with like the fan remaster by Albert and
Oh yeah,
the other
Oh
people
yeah, they
from
knocked
the
it out of the park.
RE4
That mod,
HD project.
incredible.
And if you want to play the original with modern or improved gameplay, play the VR version on Oculus Quest 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot there's a VR version.
Like those two versions, like the Super HD fan remaster and the VR version, like that's how you either do a 100% faithful remaster or, in quotations, remake, because it's like so much improved graphics in the fan HD version, and yeah, the VR version is the modern controls, and so to say.
I really wish they would port that VR version to PC VR, so it's not just stuck in the fucking.
Yeah, that'd
Quest.
be nice. That'd be very nice.
I'm not selling my soul to Meta.
Well, that's meta.
Oh, not Facebook.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to other news from Showcase, Capcom Showcase?
I'm dreading this, but yes. It's likely mature 17 plus. It may contain no content.
Yeah, this. By the way, major spoilers for those who care about RE8 spoilers, because this is just like super spoiler territory. So just like
Yeah,
run
this is
away
just
if you care
sort of-
about spoilers.
Thank goodness I don't care.
So yeah, this is them announcing the DLC for RE8.
That's not how the baby looks in my game.
It might be how the baby
Perhaps,
looks
but
when this patch releases and maybe mods break. Who knows? So yeah, this DLC, it looks like you actually play as Rose, which is not the direction I expected them to take.
I was hoping it would be about the BSAA storyline, so they wouldn't leave another open plot line that they're gonna ignore for the next game.
Yeah.
My
looks
guess is their concern was, what can we make that ends up reusing a lot of
Yep.
assets, so we can
Yeah,
make it
yeah,
because this
that's
is
true,
reusing
yeah.
a lot of assets.
Yeah, this is
here.
like the castle in from RE8.
Which, I mean, it's the best location in the game, but still. That was Claudia Wolf from Silent Hill 3.
He gets a pistol.
It's the
More
same
reuse
pistol
assets.
from the base game. No, these enemies are new.
Paleheads.
And they gave the
Adams.
Duke a little cute little mask.
And yeah, they're adding.
Goodbye.
Yeah, Eden Pillars,
At
Chris
least he can
Redfield,
punch.
Heisenberg. You can be tall lady.
I do like that you can just throw a drawer for no reason.
And then there should be one more thing here. Yeah, they've added.
It's the Game Awards.
It's my mod.
we made a mistake at the Game
There's one mod you won't have to update anymore.
Yeah, that's one positive thing.
That's just straight up all the RE2 animations.
It really is.
I mean, I would like to think that Capcom saw what kind of reception your third-person mod
Oh
was
yeah,
getting.
RE-verse is coming out.
It would be fun if my mod actually like kind of convince them. I mean, I will say that even though my junk is very junky, I did like really appreciate. I think it's more fun to play it in third person over first. I like the game much better that way.
I have to thank you once again for that mod, because with that mod I was able to play the game without wanting to vomit. So thank you.
Yep.
Oh
Even
Oh,
with the
that's right. The game doesn't have a
FOV.
field of view slider, does it?
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
default one's
Yeah.
awful.
But
God, it's
even with
awful.
the FOV mod, I just couldn't. I could play for longer than without the FOV mod, but yeah, even with the FOV mod, I got queasy.
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah,
it's definitely
third
nice.
person's
and-
good.
Yeah, I think third person is definitely a very nice addition. I wonder if that just maybe Capcom going, oh yeah, maybe first person wasn't the right idea. Maybe we should have been third person all along, because that seems to be receiving like very well overall. Like also
Yes,
if you look like
but-
R2 like R3 remakes.
But Capcom, look, Capcom, listen to me. If you're gonna
I'm
make
not
more, if you're gonna make more first-person games, include a fucking field of view slider. It's
Yeah.
standard practice.
It wasn't RE7,
fucking
right?
do it.
Yeah, they did it for RE7, weirdly enough.
It's so weird it wasn't in RE8. Any thoughts about Rose?
Nope.
I don't have many thoughts because she's barely in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
By the way, when you play as Rose, like this DLC with Rose, is actually third person as well. It's not first. And
Well,
Like it,
It depends on this DLC, like how it turns out, because we know very little about this character, so currently it's hard to be excited for this, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not a character I care about at all.
also,
like-
there's so much asset reuse. I kind of feel like there might not be much substantial to this DLC.
There was some unique locations from the look of it, like this looks maybe different,
It looks kind of similar to some of the catacombs you go through.
You can
Maybe.
convince me otherwise.
I guess.
Is this the same robes or dress that the one of the villains use in the
The daughters?
Yeah, no, not the daughters. Like that, the lady with the doll. Lady with the doll. Is that the same dress or robe she uses? I don't know.
Oh, Donna.
It's probably not.
it-
But it
It
does
could
remind me
be.
of that.
I was gonna say I could check the character model, but I
Wait,
deleted
can
the
you
game file.
zoom in on Rose on the right?
She's bloody. She's bloody.
Oh, it's blood. I was like, is she missing a torso?
She looks kind of goopy.
Well,
Oh, yeah, okay.
the room
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
bit goopy.
Yeah, very goopy room.
So here's my professional expertise view on Rose as a character. She was a baby, and then she wasn't. There you go.
Does he have 4 eyes?
The mask does.
Yeah.
That's,
He doesn't
look at
even
how
look
happy he
older.
is.
He looks kind of the same age.
yeah, I mean that is the same character model probably with a mask.
Do you guys think we'll see old Chris in this, like super old Chris?
No.
No.
I don't know if the leaked, if that image I saw on Twitter is a real leak or if that is not true, real. But I saw a Chris with a beard that was super old.
Or maybe like face up or something.
Like, isn't like the premise of this is that like you're going like the castle isn't real. It's some kind of dream world. I think that was the
it's
premise.
it's in the consciousness of the Megamycete,
Whatever that
and
means.
this takes place 16 years after the main story of Village. The Megamycete is a thing from the game, which related to spoilers, so I'll just not.
Okay.
No, you can see it.
It's basically the thing that Chris seems to destroy that is kind of controlling everything and containing everything. And that, like, the main villain
Ethan and
tries to
Mia?
fuse her with. Can you see through the jacket here?
Yep. I don't
Huh.
know if. Yeah,
That doesn't look right.
yeah, that doesn't look right. Yeah.
Backsided rendering, yay.
Re-engine.
Skip to the wrong part.
Reach
there.
for the moon.
Is anyone there? Is that also Mia? I don't know.
That looks
Hard
like a
to tell.
person.
Oh no, yeah.
This is Ethan.
Yeah, this is definitely
is-
Ethan and Mia. Yeah, like Mia to the right there. I don't know. I don't know
Is
who
he
this
just
is.
always wearing his jacket like he never takes it off?
It's his favorite jacket.
I feel like it's also weird that Rose seems to always wear the jacket as well. Like that jacket, like that family loves the jacket.
It gets around.
But that's Rose.
Nice Converse shoes.
I feel like we can just skip ahead and talk maybe a little bit more about the. I get sad. I get sad because I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool they're doing this, but you know what? Like I don't know. Maybe add like bonus content like RE3. I feel like that could have deserved some DLC love. I feel like I don't know.
It's so hard to be excited for the Mercenaries mode in this game.
I did a little bit of science before this podcast. Oh, it's kind of fun, like seeing Toilet throw stuff. That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
But,
like that's cute.
She throws a big chair. That's kind of funny.
So it's you also have to crouch to get through doors. She's too tall. Because you actually do look at things from her 9-foot tall perspective.
Oh,
Because yeah, you're looking down on these
Yeah.
enemies because they're like tiny.
yeah, she's very tall.
But I think there is like a little. I saw a snippet where you have to duck when playing as her when going through a door.
I'm not sure where that would be. I thought maybe it was a screenshot. Maybe I have it. I guess we'll see. But I was going to say that I did some science before this podcast. I went to YouTube and I searched for Resident Evil Mercenaries, and I just sorted based on upload date, so that it wouldn't care about like showing like most views and anything. And like from the last half year, there's a ton of RE6 Mercenaries videos, a ton of RE5 Mercenaries videos, quite a lot of RE4 Mercenaries videos, and like a few RE8 Mercenaries videos. I did not get the impression that people were very in love with the RE8 Mercenaries mode.
It's not good.
It's not good. I don't know. I kind of wish they could have. I feel like other stuff. They could have just made content for other stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm being overly negative, but this Mercenaries mode just was not fun.
I can be more negative. Like, it feels like, and I've said this before, like, it feels like it's like this weird in-between of Mercenaries and Raid mode, but it's not particularly good at being either.
Yeah, I mean, like, the pacing is awful. Like, you have to go to the shop now and then. Like, it kind of kills the pacing. You have random elements, so, like, playing for score kind of just makes no sense. And I don't know, this... And the gunplay isn't just... It isn't very fun in RE8. Like, it's nothing compared to RE4, 5, 6 that has, like, amazing core mechanics. Like, this... Yeah. Do not like it. So I have a few other videos here I can quickly show. So this is at the bottom here. This is what they showed at the Game Awards at December, and the top video is my own third-person mod. Because I was curious, like when they showed this during the Game Awards, I was kind of curious, like was this something they rendered in a debug build? Did they maybe use my mod? But no, like now we know it was a tease for the upcoming DLC.
So Jeff Keighley actually tweeted about this as well. That he said like, "You thought we made a mistake at the Game Awards, man." And
Yeah.
it's just like I kind of snarkily quote tweeted that and said, "No, we didn't think you made a mistake. We thought you used a mod."
I just want to point out in my I feel like with my mod in this instance looks pretty similar. Like very similar point of view, very similar. I mean, the same animations. And I also, for the heck of it, included a look at my my mod, which does look it does look quite a bit janky. So it'll be nice to actually have this as an official feature.
I like how it reloads. I don't know what you're talking about.
So yeah, I feel like if I were to play RE8 for the first time, I would just play it in third person. I feel like that's a better way to go.
Well, the good thing is now you can do a second playthrough.
I don't want to play it
I don't
again.
think that's a good thing.
Do it again.
I have pictures.
Okay,
I still
Gold Edition.
that cover art will never not bother me because it sets up a thing that never really happened. Like, Chris is not really a big character in the game and doesn't like do anything near becoming like a Lycan. So I never really understood this cover art.
The release date was late October this year, right?
Yes.
And we don't have
28th.
any we don't have like price or anything?
No, they didn't
I think
mention price.
I think they'll charge 40 or 50 for this.
For the
Maybe
DLC?
60. No, for like the gold edition.
Oh, here's a high res of this. Oh god, I did right. High res of this.
Very
thing.
bloody.
Yeah, she is.
It's just like Little
Very
Miss from Revelations 2.
Oh god, is Lottie gonna be here?
No.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like it's a different outfit here because you can say that it's like different than what Donna wears because Donna's outfit goes to the floor.
Okay.
So this is a unique outfit, but people were speculating, I suppose, more spoiler warning, that this is Ava, which is the daughter from Miranda.
Oh yeah, I guess
Randall.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Michael.
She's very happy about that.
Did they show gameplay during the showcase?
think so.
Very small.
Yeah, I think I forgot to include that, but I mean it's fine. We don't need to show absolutely every single thing. I guess I can just link to the showcase if you want to watch the entire thing. This is some very nice tethering.
Oh god.
Keeps happening.
He's also very happy.
Are these models all new? I don't recognize them.
Yes.
Do
Yeah,
they use the same
these are new.
animations as the cast enemies?
I
They
thought it was
might.
just a pale hit from RE2.
No, it definitely isn't.
Yeah, it's not that model.
I stand corrected.
Like yeah, like third
Ah,
person.
gameplay
she's
shot.
pew pews.
There. Oh, can you go
Oh.
back? Like some parts of their limbs look very similar to the molded from 7.
Hmm.
Because with the black stuff, it's supposed to represent probably the mold in the Mega Mycete.
Yeah, that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Like
Now,
there
right,
are like
so
those
the-
evolved molten in Chris's
the-
DLC in 7.
the bottom half, he just spent too long in the tub, and the top half is dried up.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, exactly.
Shadows of Rose. I keep thinking of Shadow of Rome when I see that.
I know, right?
If you see a kiss from a rose.
What about a kiss from Rome? Oh, she didn't like that joke.
Sorry, Rose.
Don't be sorry ever.
So she's how old is she here? Like 16, 17?
I would imagine 16, 17.
Yeah, around that age, because it is 16 years after
She's
the
5.
story of Village.
Tall lady. Tall lady's 5 years old.
Yeah.
Chris.
He's 2. He's 2.
What's he?
He's
Oh.
he's 99.
What's his age?
203.
Okay. What is this screenshot supposed to be of? Like mercenaries? I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess mercenaries.
I would guess mercenaries.
It is a new area that's added to Mercenaries because they said that they added a few new maps in
Oh, okay.
the upcoming DLC, which includes this area. So
Windmill.
So yeah, third person stuffs.
most important
Daniela.
character in the game.
Was this an
Daniela.
animation you said was like taken from RE2 of like the bite thing? Or was it another animation?
All Ethan's like movement animations are RE2 Leon's.
Okay.
The bite is probably some mix.
Because I did notice in the video, like the bite was fully third person.
Yeah,
Which makes me curious, like how often will it switch into first person? For instance, all cutscenes I will assume are still like fully first person.
I'm not sure.
if they didn't, they would need to fully animate Ethan's face because there were no facial animations for him.
Yeah, I feel like there's a
aside
lot of
from
stuff
that
to
one
animate,
cutscene with
yeah.
Chris. Like only the ending
Um,
cutscenes with Ethan had facial animations.
Oh, this is
Unless
the
they
last
did
screenshot.
it, unless they did it really weirdly, where Ethan's model, sorry, was visible in the cutscenes, but it was always from behind, so they wouldn't have to do facial animations.
Oh, that'd be very silly and very funny.
In fact,
Anything
yeah,
else?
even in this official press material, they really don't want to show his face.
Yeah,
They
it's
keep
kind of
doing it.
funny. Like I was thinking that it would be hilarious to when they release the third person thing that they just keep like the black shadow that he has in the model view, just have that on his face all the time in the first person mode. That'd be pretty funny.
I mean, it says a
It's-
lot when the official PSN avatar for Ethan is his hand from RE7.
I'm gonna make it a mod where his textures are replaced with those black void textures.
The void. Ew.
Ew.
Do we have anything else to say about RE8?
No. Is that no?
I don't.
Chris-
I-
Oh
I'm
yeah,
out.
here.
like-
This. Those
Oh,
those
sorry.
were Leon's animations.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
just
Yeah, these are very obviously
Yeah.
like.
Oh
moving
yeah,
on
yeah, I totally recognize them.
movement
Yeah.
animations.
Those you don't. Yes, they must have been added those for this new mode because you don't see those animations when you force third person
Yeah.
on, like in my mods. That's new animations.
They also
well,
did some more work. Oh, can you go back again? Because like first of all, they added physics to parts of his jacket, like the
That's
bottom of the
nice.
jacket and the hood.
Yeah.
But also they made a change to Chris, who's coming up after this, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, like it's a lot of physics to do.
He has the helmet, which he doesn't in the cutscenes where you see him. He never wears this.
Huh.
But this is like where his like night vision goggles are on, I guess. But he never wore this helmet in any of the cutscenes or on his character model in the model viewer. So this
Oh.
is a change to Chris's model.
Makes him look like he's from Umbrella Corp.
Or from Call of
Oh
Duty.
no.
I mean, he has the same kind of stuff on his head that the rest of his team has, so I guess in a sense it kind of makes sense. But yeah, he never had it in any of the cutscenes.
They
Yeah,
honestly
he
should
kinda
just
looked
had
like that.
this. They should just had this as a mode from day one because I really do think like the game just feels better in third compared to first. Ethan is still a boring character to look at, but still, like I don't know, like to me, like Resident Evil just makes like it just feels more correct if it's third person rather than first.
Yep.
But it is good that they're actually finally adding it.
It would have been nice if it allowed you to use it everywhere, because I think the Mercenaries is still
yeah.
going to be first person. Like
That's
even
true.
the DLC Mercenary stuff, like this is all shown in first person,
Yeah.
and the third person is referred to as a separate mode, like third person mode, which I don't think they said is going to be in Mercenaries.
I feel like I don't know that. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. You can play the entire game except Mercenaries in third person. I feel like that's weird, very weird choice. Especially Tall Lady. I feel like people like they want to see Tall Lady. I feel like that's the entire point of playing as Tall Lady. They want to see Tall Lady.
Oh boy, do they ever want to see Tall Lady. I think they want to see a little too much of Tall Lady, if you get what I mean.
They wish they were that Lycan that she chokeslams. I've seen so many people be horny for that.
Oh no.
I mean, people were already down when she slammed Ethan into the floor multiple times.
Yeah, people were like, I want her to do me with that, and I'm like, horny bonk.
Maybe that's a sign we should just move on. Maybe we should just move on.
Yeah, I think that's a very
good
good
sign.
sign.
So yeah, yeah. So there was a game. We'll see in a second here.
Oh,
There we go.
This isn't Tetris.
They announced this a few months ago, but we didn't talk about it during a podcast. And it's a game that isn't Dino Crisis. I was
But it
like,
sure
when
has a Dino Crisis going on.
yeah, when I first saw the trailer, I was thinking like maybe it could be Dino Crisis, especially when you see a certain character.
oh yeah.
They confirmed today on Twitter that this is not Dino Crisis in any way. Like, they specifically went out of their way to confirm,
funny.
no, this is not Dino Crisis in any way.
Yes, and a lot of people have been pointing out. Scream it with selfig?
I don't know.
But yeah, a lot of people have been very keen to point out, like, yeah, come on, Capcom. Like, you've got dinosaurs, you've got like a futuristic setting like Dino Crisis 3. You've got a red-haired lady who looks very much like Regina.
Yeah,
Who you
and
trying to
she's
fool?
right
But
here.
yeah, we'll see her in a moment.
So yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah,
she's even
she's like she
like-
they must have based her on like Regina's design. She's so similar.
Come on, you can't make sense of this situation. Look at what's happening. There she is again.
And that's a lot of her.
IBS's latest dinosaur forecasts and exosuit technology were able to keep humankind.
This
nothing-
looks fun. Like, I still think this looks fun, but I kind of lost interest one day and now, like a PvE.
You kind of broke up there.
I think this game looks really fun, but I lost interest when they announced it was like PvPvE.
Yeah,
I think
mean,
that's just one mode, though, right?
yeah.
I think that's the whole game.
They did say that the game is like two teams competing on objectives.
Is there no more that's like PvE only?
I don't think they said anything about it.
Well, yeah, I think my interest might have died as well then.
Yeah, like if they had like a pure co-op mode, like I would be into it.
It is something worth noting because I think this is the old trailer. I don't know if you have the new one from the showcase.
I have
But-
a new trailer as well. I have a new gameplay trailer that's loading in a second here.
Ugh.
Because they said that during the showcase that you can register for a closed network test if you go to the official website.
Yeah.
So you can sign up for maybe getting drawn to play a beta of this on, I believe the website is just exoprimal.com.
Under my supervision, IBS Corp conducts its
Speaking of which, I guess I should sign up.
Yeah, it's interesting Capcom announced something like this. I feel like this is something Capcom would be more likely to announce and release like 10 or 15 years ago, like something more random like this.
Yeah, like I do like that they do something random.
But I don't think I'm personally fully sold on this. Like it's an interesting concept, just like absolutely giant hordes of dinosaurs. Like it's a lot of dinosaurs. There's a lot of dinosaurs.
It's a crisis.
So it's kind of funny because they, Capcom has a Twitter account, which I think I've mentioned on a podcast in the past before, where they show off things they like test in the RE engine, and the mechanics of like the dinosaurs falling down the building as if it's fluid was something they showed off ages ago with generic character models.
That's interesting.
Where they like made a slope, like a ramp, and the character models were just generic humanoid characters in a running animation, and they were moving as if they're fluid over this ramp. And it's very clear that they're using that system for this game. And they showed that off years ago.
Carnage module online.
So do you think this game was in development for that long?
They were at least like testing out certain things, and I guess they just happened to be like, oh yeah, we can use this for our next project. I don't know if that was specifically made for this, because it seemed to be part of their AI and like fluid system development.
I kind of feel like this is if EDF and Lost Planet had a baby.
Mixed with some Dino Crisis.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, so I quickly did the submission for the network test. And if you get selected for the network test, you'll be notified around the 4th of July.
No, that's
And the network test will be in that time period.
Okay,
Because
that's
the second network test, and they also have a third confirmed, is July 12th. And okay, so the second network test will be July 25th. And the third one will start on August 7th.
Okay. Are they all closed, like invite only?
Yes. Yes. And it seems that the first session will be US and Canada. And I'm guessing the second and third will be the rest of the world as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I will try this if I get the chance, but it's hard to tell how much I'll enjoy this. It's such a weird, crazy concept.
Yeah, especially considering that this is probably another one of Capcom's attempts to have like a big monetizable live service game.
Oh,
That's
no.
probably what this
God.
is. I mean, they have been pushing the multiplayer aspect of this game quite a lot, so
Yeah.
you have
yeah,
to
I
think
don't know.
that's what this is. That's what
If
they're
this is
trying
like
to
a
push.
games as a service thing and it's like forced PvP, then I'm kind of losing almost all my interest.
At IBS, we're always reaching for better.
Any other
Also,
comments
this
on
trailer-
dinos?
Yeah, the trailer had some bad
Yeah.
frame rate.
Yep.
it's struggling now and then.
What is variable?
Do you think this will have ray tracing?
I think I'm probably going to
Doubt it.
say no.
And die.
I don't think it's gonna run well if it has all this like crazy stuff and ray tracing. I don't think the
they-
game will run very well.
Did they announce ray tracing for RE4 Remake? Though I guess it's pretty much a given since RE8 had it.
I think there were some moments in the trailer where you could see ray tracing, but I'm not sure. That could have been screen space reflections, I guess.
You must fight harder than ever. If
Shall we move from dinos to dragons?
Yes,
Oh no.
Okay.
but I'm gonna leave. I'll leave you to it because I got nothing to add.
Okay, well, okay. This is a big moment in the Capcom Showcase stream where we suddenly saw this. Dragon's Dogma. Oh my god.
Hi, everyone.
They even got Itsuno. Oh my god, this has to be the biggest announcement of all time. Like, why else would they get Itsuno here? Oh my god, we need to listen to his voice. We need to go with
Thanks to
full
all of you
volume.
for joining us in
We have
this
to just slow this down as well so we can just like enjoy every single second of this. Oh
You're
yes.
going to prolong
Oh
the
yes.
pain?
Oh my god, finally. We've been waiting so long. We're finally getting a sequel to Dragon's Dogma. Oh my god, I'm so freaking excited. This is, oh my god, it's
Nothing
Dragons.
second to
Dragons. Oh my god, this is anime. Oh my god.
And they had
this
the
is-
audacity
leave.
for the
We should
fucking
leave.
anime. Oh.
Oh my god. Oh, his voice kind of dark. I didn't know it was that dark. Okay, that's kind of interesting. But yeah, it's okay. The reason of it is not a game or anything. Okay, well, it's a celebration of. Okay, yeah, okay.
See, that's where you'll get your game.
It's an announcement of an announcement. If that's the case, it's still silly. I don't know. Watching this live, in my opinion, felt like a troll.
Also, it was recently confirmed that this video will only be 12 minutes long.
We hope
Oh yeah,
That's
like
enough
yeah.
to reveal the video game.
once again. Thank you.
I mean,
all
if
so much.
this video is 12 minutes, I'm sorry, but why couldn't they have put that in the showcase?
That's a
They
good
spent
point. That's
more
a
than
good
12
point.
minutes on. They spent about 12 minutes on Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, it
So
was
why
10 minutes of
couldn't this
Rise.
get that?
Anniversary of
Why
Dragon's
can't
Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma?
Thanks to
I mean,
all
yeah,
of
like
you
they
for
already had a
showing
shit ton of
love.
viewers watching the showcase. I feel like yeah, it would make perfect sense just to have both at the same
Has
thing.
been spread to various different kinds of media.
I don't know. I don't know. If like, I feel like people were expecting announcements and like details about stuff during this, not announcements of announcement. I feel like that's always just a silly thing, and the timing and the build. I feel like a lot of people just expected something big out of this, and then just
Why, Itsuno? Why did you betray us? Why? What did we do? What? We didn't deserve this.
We'll have something for you. to
You didn't
enjoy.
buy Dragon's Dogma on Switch. That's what you did.
Oh, fuck
I
off.
actually did.
Once again, thank you all.
I was tempted, but I didn't.
Also bought it on PS4.
I just want to say, like, if this is just a video like showcasing the 10 years of Dragon's Dogma, then I get that it's not in this because that wouldn't really fit with the announcement.
yeah, but also
But
then
if this announces Dragon's Dogma 2, why the fuck was it not in the showcase?
yeah, and also
See,
if,
this
if,
is why I think we're not getting it on the 16th. It's not. They're not
We're
announcing
getting
it.
it.
I feel like if
Icewave,
it, like
stop.
I feel like if this video is just like a general celebration, why not just announce it on like Twitter? I feel like that would be a better place to do it done. I feel
Yes.
like this is, I don't know. It felt.
Don't crush my hopes and dreams.
We
Ah,
Dogma fans are very
ah.
sensitive, okay?
They're gonna crush your dreams again tomorrow.
No, they won't, because I'm not fucking watching this.
I,
Then they'll crush them on Friday.
Against my better judgment, I will watch this and we'll see if there's anything interesting out of it.
You're a
Should I
glutton for
watch it with
punishment.
you? I,
If you want to,
Oh.
sure.
I don't know if I want to stay up till midnight again because
I'll
Yeah,
be
it is
asleep.
midnight.
showcases are
It is late.
so many of these like presentations, like the state of play, the Capcom Showcase. This it starts at midnight our time zone. Why?
Yeah, it is fairly late. And I guess if there's like a super big announcement from this video thing they're gonna showcase, I'll
There won't
probably
be.
make a podcast after that. But yeah,
Probably a video game.
It's going to be a lot of podcasts in the span of 2 weeks.
well, I mean,
Well,
I am
the
not.
season.
I'm not entering with a lot of expectations, and even yeah, no, yeah, I guess we'll just see. I guess we'll just see what happens. And I guess besides that, there's rumors that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct like very late this month, right?
The current
2 weeks from
rumor.
now.
The current rumor is the 29th. Unconfirmed.
So I guess maybe there's a small chance something big will be announced there we can have a podcast about. But otherwise, I think the next likely podcast time will be around August time. Maybe we'll see RE4
Gamescom.
Remake gameplay.
Yeah, it probably either Gamescom or if there's nothing there, then Tokyo Game Show likely after that.
Yeah, that's
Or-
September, right?
Gay off Kegley's the Game Awards.
December, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
Um,
realized.
hmm?
EDF 6 will be out before the next Tokyo Game Show. There'll be no EDF at the Tokyo Game Show.
Blimey.
Damn.
But there could be Dragon's Dogma too.
Don't.
So
Don't.
I
Don't.
think there'll be a game announcement.
Don't.
Let's meet.
Don't.
I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'll probably
am.
watch it with you, Sectus.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
I think. Is there any last words about anything? I think we covered everything we have to cover here.
They didn't show Pragmata.
Oh
They
yeah,
did
that's
not
true.
show Pragmata.
Yeah.
They did
Pragmata
not show
is,
I
Pragmata.
kinda semi-expected it to be there because in the pre-show they showed like a bunch of old trailers for different games, and Pragmata was one of the games they showed in that pre-show, which made me think that they were gonna talk about it at least, but there wasn't
no.
even a single mention.
Nah, we're not seeing it till next year, I think.
Yeah. Also, no Deep Down. But I mean, yeah. That's
Thanks, please.
yeah.
Go back to your web design course. Give me those
I
middies.
want the wacky fonts.
No,
I want the
real
web ring
wacky.
because I don't think I ever saw a web ring back when it was a thing.
Yeah, it was like web rings and guest books. Those you saw like everywhere, and then they just disappeared.
Yes,
Like no
oh,
one's
yeah,
using
yeah,
this
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
No, I did see a guest book. I was a member of a website that had a guest book.
No, really.
Yeah.
I guess
certain-
maybe guest books like lasted a little bit longer than the web rings.
Yes, a certain layer for devils.
Any other final words about the showcase?
It sucked.
I feel like it didn't help that it was so late. I feel like if it was just like if we weren't also sleepy, I feel like we would have maybe a slightly better impression because it just like staying up that late for something that was kind of underwhelming. That I feel like that just made it a little bit worse.
We
I'll be a
can talk about
little-
RE1st.
That's coming out finally. That's coming out
God.
alongside the Gold Edition.
I like that they actually
but
showed like a
yeah.
brief gameplay of RE during the showcase, but it was just the same gameplay. It wasn't anything different.
It seemed like it was from the beta they did over a year ago. But other than that, yeah, like as you guys said, like if it was probably like earlier in the day and not at midnight, I don't know. I think I would have liked it a bit more because most of the games they showed is stuff that I like and I'm interested in. Because there was also the Capcom Arcade 2 that they talked about and the fighting game collections.
Oh, and like if you're a fan of Monster Hunter Rise, you had a lot to chew on
Yeah.
that showcase.
There was like 10 or 12 minutes of new content, including like a demo announcement for Sunbreak.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
The demo's out
Yeah, that demo is out right now. You can play Sunbreak
wow.
now.
on
On your
Switch
Switch.
and PC.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was like a lot of stuff they talked about. It wasn't as bad as last year's E3 Capcom Showcase.
Oh,
'cause that was utterly terrible. But yeah, despite the fact that there were a lot of games that I like or I'm interested in, just the way how the presentation felt and that we expected more from it, especially also with RE4 Remake, it just felt like a disappointing showcase, even though
Yeah,
they showed a ton of stuff.
There was also the fact that they just reused a Street Fighter 6 trailer that we've seen like a billion times. Like like a week ago. I feel like that was maybe unnecessary.
Yeah. And the RE4 trailer being the exact same state of play with the exception of the last 10 seconds.
I think it's like more like 4 seconds. Like it's silly.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, like if stuff like that wasn't that way, I feel like I would have come out of it a lot more hyped and excited. But again, yeah, they had a lot of stuff that I'm interested in, so it's weird to see a lot of games I like, but not be excited afterwards.
Yeah, I feel like the pacing at the very least was pretty good in the show.
Except for the fact that that Monster Hunter Rise got like 12 minutes. That felt so drawn
It
out.
did. It did take up like nearly a third of the entire thing. Did we mention that RE-verse, like it will be released with Gold Edition of RE8? I think they mentioned that during the showcase.
Yeah, it will have seen a delay of nearly 18 months since it was supposed to come out.
It better be the best thing like ever created.
If it is just the same content that I data mined that was supposed to be like coming after the beta, I'm gonna be pissed off. I have a list. I'm keeping notes.
The list.
Watch it.
I just noticed a new thing here, or I don't know, like this reflection kind of looks the same. Maybe I don't know. I can't tell. Oh god, that dithering. Oh lord, that dithering. Oh god.
Zoom out, don't look at it.
Yeah,
It
let's
almost
never
looks like
mind,
he's
never mind,
wearing
never
some
mind.
kind of hat. Yeah, my expectations for RE-verse is that it will still be shite.
Oh yeah, I don't have a lot of good expectations for that weird thing. I mean, I don't have a lot of good expectations for RE8 DLC in general because I mean I wasn't a big fan of the game, but I do really appreciate actually making third person an official mode. I feel like that's neat.
And that the DLC is going to be third person as well.
And just in case any Capcom developers watching this, I'm very okay if the new RE8 build isn't of a newer RE engine version. I'm very okay if you
Yes,
don't
please.
upgrade the engine. Just let it
Yes,
be.
please.
The engine version you're
Yep.
using right now, it's perfect. It's so good. Please don't change it. That's yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. Please
Yeah,
don't break
it's,
everything again. Please.
Yeah.
Please. I don't want to update even more mods. I have 100 to go through. Please, don't do this to me.
They will laugh at your pleas, unfortunately.
Please. Please. No, please.
Do you have any review of the showcase you want to mention, Icewave?
I didn't watch it live.
Oh, he
I
had the bad
didn't
experience.
watch.
He was
Like
spared.
I just went to sleep. I was like, I can't stay up that late. I'll just catch up what happened, and then woke up to like multiple Discord messages from you all going, "It's a good thing you went to sleep."
It was a good thing I went to sleep. I should have gone to bed myself.
I should have done the same.
And then I caught up, but then I was like, it's disappointing, but I don't think it's that bad.
It's that bad. It's that bad.
It is that bad.
And like, and Dragon's Dogma's getting a new game tomorrow
Oh,
anyway. Like,
Stop it! I can't take it anymore. It hurts too much. Ah,
I'll see you guys for the next podcast.
bye.
Bye.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Stop
It's gonna
it.
happen. It's gonna happen.